Hey, great Wednesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville. Good morning, Guadalupe. I know you came in a little bit early. August 10th to 14th, distribution time. Parents and technology devices, Chromebooks, hotspots, the district purchase school supplies to all the students at no cost. Daily class schedules and introductory to all students at no cost. Introductory letters from teachers distributed. Awesome. August 21st, Transportation Department resumes operations. Drivers and monitors will be assigned to the buses and hotspots of locations based on seniority to driving, learning packets, and providing other support services at all 54 campuses. Awesome. Thank you, Guadalupe. Good morning, Encarnacion. Good morning, Dr. Eder Hernandez. Great man. Good morning, Leah. It is raining. Actually, when I got here, it was drizzling a little bit to the studio, to the Castro studio, actually to my office downtown. But I started to hear a lot more. So I'm going to guess that it's raining more. Great chicken tamales I had yesterday. Actually, I was a little bit concerned because yesterday, I ate like a crazy man yesterday. I mean, tragué hasta donde no. El azar. Good morning. Ayer tragué como crazy. Like, I'm serious. I ate like, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. I ate like, ¿qué me trajo? Esta niña me trajo carne guisada. Luego I had tamales. Luego I had a two cookies, and I can't remember what else I ate. Oh, Whataburger. I got some Whataburger last night during the show. Y'all want good morning, Juan. Hermoso. Good morning, Jennifer Hermosa. Lucy, good morning. And I think my friends out there, I think y'all want to get me fat. No les de envidia porque estoy handsome and totally not fat. ¿Qué dice? Consolación de muchos. Are people trying to get me fat on purpose? Tony, morning, Tony. Please, guys, don't try and get me fat on purpose. But no, actually, para que se mueran de envidia, I actually went, Lupita, buenos días. I actually went and weighed myself this morning and I actually lost 2 pounds. Para que se les quite. So sigan trayéndome comida. Good morning, Erica. God bless you. Good morning. Dios contigo también, don José. Bendiciones. Top of the morning, Taya. You saw me wearing my kilt. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. There's a couple of things that I want to discuss and I want to talk about. A couple of things I want to discuss about. We're going to go into the Los Fresnos plan. We're going to go into the Brownsville Independent School District plan first. But also, I want to make mention in regards to something that I stated last night. Gonna get you fat like the yellow submarine y la pingüina. No, la mendiga yellow submarine. Morning, morning. Yesterday, I did make mention in regards to the individuals that had gotten hired for the position that was definitely not qualified for because trustee Laura Perez Reyes is trying to pay back a political favor. And again, guys, I'm standing by my comment, 100%. The individual that was overlooked was Mr. Adrian Dorset. Now, Adrian Dorset, I mean, has been, coordinator, has been a very hardworking individual in the district. And it's very, very unfortunate that Mr. Dorset got looked over. The other individual that got looked over was Mr. Lopez. But it's very sad that the Mr. Dorset actually came out first in the two rounds they had. In the 2 rounds they had in regards to the interview committee, Mr. Dorset came out first. But again, we're not going to get the most qualified individuals out there. We're going to get those compadres de Laura Perez Reyes and Philip Cowan. It's disgusting. And yes, we are in a hiring freeze. It doesn't make any sense to hire another top-paying individual to a position where we don't even know what's going to happen in the next couple of months because of the coronavirus. I mean, they still haven't gotten their crap together in regards to how they're going to start the school year. Goodness gracious. They don't have a plan. They don't. And they're still hiring administrators, more administrators, teachers. Does the district need more administrators right now? Goodness gracious, we got 2 deputy superintendents on there. ¿De qué nos sirve? It's kind of funny, but I'm so poor that on my Keurig coffee, I have to put the same little Keurig cup 3 times porque I'm so poor. So, ahorita estoy tomando agua de calcetín. Agua de calcetín. You know what agua de calcetín is? Café chirle. Chirle. Because I have to put the Keurig cup like 3 times. That's why I want you to come over and break down with some damn donations for my damn cookies. They're pretty cookies. It's upside down. Pretty cookies. I'm actually going to eat this one in a little bit. No, es que se me baje el bacon that I had this morning. Guys, but for Mr. Dorset, goodness gracious, guys. First of all, we shouldn't be hiring anyone. Anyone. But Laura trying to pay off favors, getting Gutierrez to hire Reyes. When does it stop, guys? I mean, she's on her way out. But she wants to make sure that she puts her people in the district. Laura, we're going to, after November comes, we're going to reorganize everything, Laura. Everything. So stop putting your people in places just because they're your compadres and your buddies. Mr. Dorset came out on top both times. Actually qualified. Has some experience. Been a coordinator. But we don't have the most qualified individuals in key positions. We don't. The previous administrator had a doctorate's degree. So all of a sudden, Laura's buddies, Philip's buddies, supersede qualifications. Nothing's changed. It's the same thing Drew did in hiring Jason Moody at PI, in hiring Kent Whittemore, who was going to manipulate the system at the Employee Benefits Committee. It's the same problem with having Rosie Peña out there. Rose Longoria got promoted because she's out there kissing the butt of Minerva. Did we need another AA? Sure as hell didn't. Sure as heck didn't. And then Dr. Cuff got disrespected. Moved away from the Glass Palace. Sent to Pace. The people from Pace were happy because they finally had an administrator, someone that was actually going to take charge instead of someone who was playing the political game. Yes, Dr. Cuff is back. Thank God that he's back at the Glass Palace. But do we need all those AAs up there earning over $175,000, guys? Do we need them? We don't. Do we need 2 deputy superintendents? We don't. Do we need this superintendent? We definitely don't. Playing the political game. And it really, people, anyone out there that's out there playing that card. Look, guys, I don't care if you're buddies with Laura La Exploradora. I don't care if you're buddies with her. What's wrong is wrong. Corruption is wrong. Corruption is wrong. Our staff, our people who have been here for years and decades and have sweat, blood, and tears out there, if they are qualified, they should get the promotion. But it's another Charlie Atkinson thing. So this Reyes guy is another Charlie Atkinson thing, guys. Another Charlie Atkinson. It's not what you know. It's who you know. And that's very disturbing, folks. That's very disturbing. Good morning, buddy. I think my buddy is nipping at the bit to give us an announcement. Buddy, do you have an announcement for us, buddy? I hear rumors, buddy. Come tell us. Good morning. So disappointed, Los Fresnos. And we're going to talk about Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District in a bit. I just wanted to, do away with BISD. But goodness gracious. And so, Mr. Dorset, I would put your paperwork together. I would demand some transparency from this board and from this superintendent. I guarantee you that Laurita Perez forced or, got a political favor. Wanted political flavor. Guys, I'm going to interrupt. The BISD spiel. And I'm going to see if we could bring on from the city of Brownsville. One moment. Appreciate your patience. Appreciate your patience, guys. Going to see if Mayor Mendez can come on board for a bit. Thank you for your patience, guys. We'll go back. I actually have some things that I want to share in regards to this. But again, guys, nothing happens at the district. Nothing happens when we continue to constantly get the wrong individuals into place. Strawberry milk and cookies. I don't have any strawberry milk, but I do have a lot of coffee. Was really Sylvia last night on the evening show? She always comes on here. We are too top heavy. No more administrators. They are all power tripping too. It's crazy. A restructure the board. Someone swayed those friends. Do not send kids back to school. We'll talk about that in a bit. Everyone needs to vote. Primo. Everyone, Araceli. Every single individual out there needs to vote. Morning, Andrea. And, Trump viene a Texas en este momento. I don't think he's coming to the Brownsville. Good morning, Dr. Castro. Hey, Mo, my man. Looking very dapper this morning, sir. Good to see you. Hey, stay safe out there in San Antonio, bro. It is a hot spot. And very honored to have Mayor Trey Mendez with us. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning, Erasmo.
And how's the fort holding up?
Well, things are still crazy. The hurricane didn't help anything. We've had a lot of cleanup after the storm. Certainly, a lot of brush, a lot of debris, some flooding, still lingering flooding in certain areas. Thankfully, most of it subsided, but I think it was a good way for us to figure out where the issues were. We saw some flooding in some areas that we hadn't seen before, which is kind of strange, and we're still trying to figure out how that occurred. But otherwise, I think we managed the storm well. We got through it. Thankfully, no loss of life. And other than some flooding, we managed it, I think, as well as could be. So I'm glad about that. COVID still is an issue. Certainly, it hasn't slowed down. It's people should not take anything lightly when it comes to this, and continue to take all the precautions you've been taking. I think if we hold steady for another couple of weeks, we're going to start to see the results.
Oh, let me tell you, I mean, hats off. I think one of the things that is very telling in regards to getting ready for the hurricane is with the city of Brownsville did something that I think we hadn't seen in many, many years past. The city of Brownsville did actually start to get ready in regards to handing out sandbags, I think a month and a half ago, sir.
Yeah,
and then,
actually,
sir, go.
We did it early. We did it well over a month before the hurricane. And the reason for that was for people to be prepared so that they wouldn't have to be doing it at the last minute. And then I anticipated that there would be some individuals that didn't know about that first sandbag drive. They were not prepared, that were going to expect for us to be putting sandbags out the day of or the day before. So I did ask our emergency management team and our city manager to coordinate something. And they were able to coordinate something pretty quickly. And we did give out, I believe it was 3,000 sandbags or more, which went really quickly. I caught some flack from some people for for that, but I can't fix if some individuals are waiting till the last minute. That's the purpose of preparation, and that's the reason we did it early, hoping that some people would take advantage of it. I heard from some people who actually did. They said there was no lines, plenty of sand, no issues. But I'm still glad though that we were able to help out those individuals that didn't have them at the last minute, which is good. And I know we helped some people out, which is great.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I did take into account. We did share the first time that y'all actually started handing out sandbags, which again was unprecedented for the city of Brownsville. But a couple of days or a day before, after we knew that it was coming somewhat this way, it's very, very encouraging to see a lot of our Brownsville staff out there, and they were very happy to do it too as well. So hats off to the city for doing that, Mayor.
Well, really, hats off to the staff. Hats off to the employees that are working overtime. They were really out there trying to protect the public and trying to make a difference. If those individuals didn't exist, we'd be in a whole lot of trouble. But thankfully, we have a lot of great people within the city, within public works, every department that were doing their part. And you saw, even at PUB, we can say what we want about the administration sometimes, but the employees, my gosh, working in the wind, working in the rain, trying to get power restored so we could be on Facebook, so we could watch our Netflix shows and all that stuff, right? But they're great, really working overtime, working through the night. Hats off to them.
Yeah, 100%. We got some amazing folk that are working out there in the city of Brownsville. Going back into COVID-19, I know that one of the things that we've been very, very concerned with is the number situation. We had Dr. Teresa Saavedra on Monday. She did explain to us the process in regards, to getting someone on the roster in regards to they've passed away. I think part of the problem, Mayor Mendez, and I know that the city is going to be or has already started to be a little bit more proactive in regards to reporting Brownsville numbers, which again,
the city already does actually, and I get those reports daily. I'm going to start pulling it up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll pull it up so I can get you the latest numbers.
Good, because that's something that we hadn't seen before, and I don't think I've seen it in any other city out there, any other city that we followed, which is a good thing. Well, here in the state of Texas, because they do let the county, lead in that respects. But even so, Mayor Mendez, a lot of our the numbers that are coming in, and I get my numbers from the people here. A lot of people, and in regards to the black ribbons that we see on social media. Just this morning, I spoke with one of our patients out there at Valley Regional, and they mentioned that last Wednesday, they had close to 15 deaths out there, and again, that's just in one day. So the disconnect in regards to the county reporting 6 deaths, when actually we know that there were like closer to 15 to 18 deaths. That is what a lot of people are fearing right now.
Are you saying that there was 15 in one facility?
Yes.
See, I can't confirm that because I get the reports every day, and I get the reports with total amount of positives at each hospital, the total amount of ICU beds that are full, the total amount of people in the ER, the total amount of ventilators being used, and the total amount of deaths. And I can say that the highest death day for any hospital was 10, and it was Valley Baptist last week, or let's say 10 days ago. That's been the highest. 15 in one day, I don't think that's true, quite honestly. And I would tell you if I had that information, certainly.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right now, we're seeing probably an average of maybe 5 per facility per day. We were seeing highs of anywhere from 7 to 10 per day at both facilities 10 days to 14 days ago, when we were at the real height of all of this, which is terrible. And those numbers, as we know, were not being reported promptly by the county. But we also have to understand that their procedures may be different. The things that they have to follow in order to report those results may be a little bit more tedious or might take a little bit longer, which is why the city has actually started to do its own reporting in regards to the amount of deaths and everything. And I can tell you yesterday's numbers. I'm trying to find today's, which I don't think I've gotten that email yet. But what we've done, because we know that the reporting time has lagged by the county's own admission, We're seeing that they're 3 weeks to a month behind on reporting deaths. I don't know how far behind they are on reporting positives. That I couldn't tell you because we're not privy to that information. But I can tell you that because the reporting of the deaths was lagging, the city started going through death certificates. The city secretary did a really good job of going through all these. They went back to actually the beginning of the year, but we've been tracking COVID since April. And in April, there was 2 deaths. And this is just what's been reported on the death certificate, okay? I'm not going to get into any arguments about whether they had any other comorbidities or anything else. This is actually on the death certificate. We know some people have died at home, very likely from COVID. They were not reported as COVID, so I think it kind of evens out. But there was 2 in April. There was 12 in May. There was 46 in June. And so far in July, there's been 87 confirmed that are COVID related. The total death records that we have with the city is 147, but they're not all Brownsville. The 133 of those are Brownsville. The others are surrounding cities. And there's still 188 that are pending to be reviewed. So those aren't COVID necessarily. Some of them will be, but that's the numbers we have. And we started tracking that just so we can try and get a more reliable count so that people would know exactly what our situation is.
And let me tell you, and we appreciate that the city took those measures in regards to, starting to report the numbers here locally in regards to Brownsville. Our concerns stem from a lot of the decision making that's going around in regards to the different school districts out there. I mean, we brought up some information in regards to Los Fresnos, which doesn't concern Brownsville at all. But the mindset of a Brownsville school district is exactly the same as Los Fresnos. They're basing their thought process, their decision making based on the numbers. So when they're getting numbers from the state, when they're getting numbers from the education guy, Mike Morath, my compadre, and when they're getting numbers from the county and using those to make their decisions, aren't we actually hurting our community that way?
Well, if the numbers aren't accurate, absolutely. I don't know what they've done to try and determine when those numbers are from. I'm not in there. I don't sit in their chair and walk in their shoes. I have no idea what information they're basing this on. But based on everything I'm seeing, that I'm in the trenches. I see these numbers every day. I get the hospital numbers every day. I know I have a real good idea, as you do, what the real behind the scenes occurrences are as far as deaths, positives. You and I talk pretty often about this. So there's absolutely no way I'd ever want to send anybody to school. You know that. I mean, I was one of the first people that took a stand on this. And I think if they're basing their numbers on the county numbers, I think they just need to do a little bit more due diligence as far as trying to find out when these numbers are from and try and get a real picture of what's going on and what actually is the situation at this point in time.
I think it's kind of irresponsible, to base your data on faulty numbers. It's not good. And we actually had a coach on here, and the coach goes, "Well, I don't know about that." And I said, "Well, it's like baseball. Like the Dodgers who suck. It's like baseball. It's the."
I'm a Cubs fan,
man. If you have faulty numbers, you won't be able to prepare well for any upcoming games, and we're in a very dangerous game down here. But with that said, again, they don't have an easy job, that is for sure. But a lot of our community, are employed by the district, so it's a big concern from a big old chunk of community. Let's go into the I'm sorry?
Erasmo, I mean, you're talking 40,000, 50,000 people. When you mix students and employees, you owe it to everybody to have the most up-to-date, most reliable data so you can make those decisions. I've always been a believer, both at TSC and now at the city, on making database decisions. The data doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. It's easy to predict. A lot of the times you can pick up on trends and it becomes projectable. So I think if they're not doing that, they certainly need to get the most up-to-date data and make their decisions and be able to justify those decisions too.
I didn't get your last one.
Oh, they need to be able to justify those decisions as well.
100%. Let's go into the nursing homes. Another a good topic for the city of Brownsville. How are we doing on the nursing home front?
The nursing home situation is a really sad situation. There's been a lot of loss of life, and there's been people that have died that didn't need to. Had it been managed better, certainly the individuals that are in nursing homes, it's not their fault. They have nowhere to go. It's almost like being in a jail or a prison. They're there, and they're not gonna come out. They're not gonna go in their car at the end of the day and drive home. That's where they live. That's their residence. So we know that any nursing home related cases are coming in through employees, administrators, other people that bring it in, and some of the procedures that have been followed, I think, were faulty, and unfortunately, we've had a lot of people die that didn't need to die. And as far as I know, there isn't any real outbreaks at any nursing homes right now that I'm aware of, but that can change in an hour. We just don't know, but we get a lot of information, and we've seen a lot of very disappointing things happen at the nursing homes over the last month and a half. And the governor actually put out an initiative to test everybody at nursing homes, and this was about 2 months ago, maybe more or less. So that shows just how important the testing is, and it also shows how just because you test negative today doesn't mean you're going to be negative in a few days, because they tested every nursing home patient and there was no issues for the most part. Then 2 weeks later, after they tested everybody, we started having outbreaks at nursing homes. And I've been asking for a plan for these nursing homes to have some sort of revolving testing in place so that we can protect these patients that are in there, so that we can make sure that there isn't anybody bringing the virus in. You need to test patients and employees both. And you need to do it regularly so that you protect these people as much as possible.
Well, and we appreciate that the city, they did. I think it was the city. I'm not sure if it was the city or county, but they did send our doctors in there, to make to affect the testing. I think one of the issues is getting the data back on the testing in a rapid time, and I think that's something that I guess might be out of our control, because the testing.
It really depends, Erasmo, on where the tests are administered. I haven't had any issues, and I think the testing that was done at the nursing homes was totally fine. There was no issues with the actual testing kits themselves. I'm not aware of any lags in time for the nursing homes, but that has been an issue for different tests, right? Which I posted on my Facebook probably about 2 weeks ago. I showed people the different types of tests and what exactly they are. There's 3 different types of tests. We have the PCR, we have the antigen, and then we have the rapid, right? The rapid typically is going to test for antibodies. Sometimes some kits actually test whether or not you have the virus present, but the antigen is not as reliable as a PCR when it comes to determining who's positive, because if the antigen test shows a positive, you still have to get a PCR nasal swab test. So the most important thing then becomes how quickly you can get these results back. We've tried to get our drive-through testing as efficient as possible to where we get it within 3 days. Typically, people that are positive are going to get their results within 3 days at this point in time. We still have some lingering issues, though. We still have some individuals that don't get their test within 3 days, and we hear about those. But the different types of testing, we're going to yield different results, and sometimes, depending on who the lab is or who the provider is, it may take a long time to get those results back.
Yeah, and I think a lot of individuals are concerned, again, and this is not anything that you don't know already or can control, actually, but there are a lot of individuals out there that are concerned because, they can't go back to work, a lot of them, until they've, gotten the results back. And some of the results are taking a while to get back, to the point where a lot of individuals I'm sure they're messaging you, contacting the city as well, saying, who do we get information from? And, you always try to redirect individuals back to the source.
Well, right. Absolutely. That's what I do. I always, if I get any sort of inquiries on Facebook, I ask them to email me. 90% of the people do email me. And then once I get that email, I respond to them and I copy the provider so that they can get in touch and respond to these people, because they need to get their results. But also there's different types of, I know that some employers require negative tests to come back to work. The CDC has different types of guidelines as far as when a person is safe to return to work. You have symptom based, and then you have a time based. So there's different types, and I think not all employers have to require a negative test to come back to work. Some of them do, I understand that, but there's also some people that have been a month symptom free and just can't get a test or aren't getting results, and their employer's not letting them come back. But I think everybody needs to be a little bit more educated on the different types of symptoms, the different types of testing, and the time frames and the symptoms, so that they can really make a good decision when it comes down to when you want to bring an employee back to work.
Amen. Going back into the weather situation, again, very appreciative of the city of Brownsville being very proactive with the sandbags and all. I didn't see as much flooding as I've seen in the past. Is there a reason for that, Mayor?
Yeah, I can't speak to previous administrations, obviously, but what we did was we drained the resacas prior to the storm. So we drained them down to a point that wouldn't affect the aerators or any of the equipment that's in the resaca that helps pump water out. But we drained them as low as we could, and then that's obviously going to help whenever they're taking in water. So if you have a resaca that's higher level and then you get a real severe storm like we did, they're going to overflow. So what we did is we made sure to drain the resacas that were within the city's control so that we could take on more water, anticipating that we were going to get a lot of rain. So that certainly helped. However, people need to know that not every resaca is controlled by the city. Some of them are within the jurisdiction of drainage district, for example, drainage district number 1. And I can't say what they did. I wasn't privy to that. I wasn't in on any of those meetings. But I have gotten some emails from individuals that had overflows at resacas that may have been controlled by another entity. So the city was proactive, and we did drain resacas prior to. We made sure our drainage system was effective prior to the storm. It's all about preparation.
It's all about preparation, 100%. Being proactive. Numbers in minors are increasing, and we are not seeing stores enforcing county mandates. Will there be more enforcement or a specific mandate in regards to the movements of minors within the community?
I think that may be a next step. If we see that these numbers aren't going down, I think we're going to have to start regulating something like that. I'm not familiar with the county. They made reference to county orders on that. I'm not familiar with any county orders that regulate minors in stores at this point in time. There was maybe about a month ago or more, but I'm not aware of them having that in place now. But I think that may be potentially a logical next step. Not sure what the county is going to do, but I think that there should be unity in these orders between the city and the county. If we're going to do something, I think we all need to make sure that it's a countywide initiative. We've been proactive on the city side in reducing occupancy and doing some other things, but I think the county should consider that as well.
In regards to Governor Abbott coming down, one of the things that we did learn these past couple of days that McAllen Convention Center was going to be turned into a COVID clinic or a COVID facility, the McAllen Convention Center. Do you know of any plans here in the city of Brownsville or in Cameron County to convert some place into a COVID clinic or COVID retention center?
I'm not aware of any mayors that were invited to that meeting with the governor yesterday, so I don't know specifically what they discussed. But based on different press reports of that, I think that they're going to have something in Harlingen as well. So it's going to be Harlingen and McAllen that are going to have some of these temporary facilities. We've been working for at least 2 weeks with individuals from the state and with individuals from the county to try and convert an existing facility into a COVID unit or to have more space for COVID patients once they're discharged. But it's been slow moving because of the owner of the facility as well as different resources that we're trying to wait on. It's not easy. We can't just snap our fingers and have something up and going within a couple days. It takes a while, and there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, but we are working on it for something here in Brownsville. But to answer your question, I think they're going to establish something in Harlingen as well.
Good. It's awesome. There's a video going around the country of doctors standing in front of the Supreme Court which actually has caused a lot of pages to be taken down from social media. Did you get to see that video, Mayor? What's your take on it?
I saw the first 3 minutes and automatic look. First of all, I think this video has gotten enough coverage already, way more than it should have. But I watched the first 3 minutes, and in the first 3 minutes, this individual, I don't know if his credentials were a doctor or not, but the first individual that spoke in the video that I saw, it was like 53 minutes long or something like that. But within the first 3 minutes, he starts attacking public schools, starts talking about no students having gotten the virus from teachers, vice versa. And then he throws shade at public schools and really builds up charter schools, talks about charter schools doing the real work and charter schools doing a great job. So I immediately dismissed the video and thought it was a sham and figured that it was a DeVos plant or somebody that really was advocating for charter schools. If you're trying to talk about COVID, I don't see why you're talking about schools. But also, if you're saying that nobody's gotten COVID from a student or from a teacher, I don't think they realize schools have been shut down since COVID started for the most part. So I don't think you're going to have any data to that effect. BISD probably doesn't have any students that caught it from teachers or vice versa because they haven't had classes since March, right? So I don't think anybody's gotten COVID in the classroom.
Well, we're going to disagree. We're going to disagree on that one a little bit because we do realize that BISD did bring in students onto campus on several occasions. They brought them back for closing out the year, and let me tell you, it was a disaster. We saw the pictures and we saw the video. It was a mess. I mean, kids, walking in bunches in groups, no face coverings, no social distancing whatsoever. I mean, the schools couldn't control it, and it wasn't it wasn't the fault of the individuals at the school, because you just cannot control 1,000 to 2,000 kids on the campus to make sure that they're going to be, social distancing. So, and then they'd had the strength and conditioning training that they brought them back. And then now our coaches are positive and our students, our athletes have come out testing positive. So it's just very, very unfortunate.
Then maybe there is circumstances. But, getting back, the point was that the video was a sham. They were talking about data that was irrelevant. And as soon as he threw shade at public schools and was trying to talk up charter schools, I knew that it was some sort of propaganda video, and I stopped watching.
And you know what, Mayor?
I'm glad it's been debunked. So happy it's been debunked because it was a sham.
You and I are exactly on the same page because I did exactly the same thing. I started to watch it, and after like 3 minutes, I said, "This is crap. This is crap." So I stopped watching it. And then I was getting a lot of messages from people and sending in going like, guys, it's crap, guys. You don't have to go through the whole 53 minutes to understand that it's a piece of crap. And and then the news started to come out and say that, this African-American doctor was out there believing in demon sperm and all this other like. And what surprised me more than anything, Mayor, is, that people actually, got to that point in the damn video. Because again, after the first couple of minutes, I was done. I didn't get to see all that other drama unfold, but that's part of the issue in regards to not having accurate information. One of the things that we've tried to do, Mayor, is we've had Dr. Saavedra, we've had Dr. Mahdi, we have Dr. Cerdan, we've had Dr. Hernandez, we've had Dr. Zamir on here, and these are the guys that are in our trenches, that are fighting the front lines here. Locally with us, they're going to have a better grasp of coronavirus in Brownsville, Texas, than Betsy DeVos, protected in her home or in her little office out there, making decisions for the country. So again, I want individuals to listen to the medical professionals here, and maybe even elected leaders that actually, have more than 2 brain cells between their ears. And do the right thing, and protect your family, protect yourself, protect your viejitos and everyone out there. But again, sir.
If I can, Erasmo, let me say this. Over the last 4 months, every time that there's some sort of miracle cure video, I get it. I'm sure you get it. I'm sure Eder gets it. Dr. Mahdi gets it. And what I do is, if I see any sort of miracle cure video or treatment video, what I do is I send it to about 2 or 3 different doctors that I know, and I say, hey guys, I'm getting this. Check it out. Do what you want to with it. You're the medical doctor. I'm not. I'm only a Juris Doctor. This is not my profession. You guys check it out. If there's something there, great. But I think it brings to light the fact that people are desperate for a cure. People are desperate for an end to all of this. We want some sort of resolution. We want to know that there's something out there that's going to end all of this, right? So I don't blame the people for wanting an answer, wanting a cure, or being hopeful that there's something out there that's going to help us turn the corner. Because this is just a terrible situation, a very sad situation. People are desperate. Some people are hungry. Some people have lost their jobs. And I don't blame them for sending me this. I'm glad that they care enough to try and help others by sending it to me. But, it's pretty easy to tell the ones that are not legit from the ones that may have something. But either way, whatever's there, whatever I get, I send it on. Typically, whenever there's a new one that comes out, which it seems like there's one a week or one every 10 days, I send it on, and I usually get it, 20 to 40 times a day, probably from different people. And like I said, I respect the fact that they want something to try and help us all, and we all do, believe me.
Yeah, we all want a way out of it. Ronnie, I don't think that there's going to be any catching up anytime soon. I mean, one of the things that we have to take into consideration, there is a backlog because of, no one expected for this to happen. And also a lot of the individuals that work in our county office, I know in our city offices, and, I guarantee you in our state offices are out on leave as well because they've contracted the virus. There's just so many people out there, that work for the government in some capacity or other that are not there, So it's going to be a while, bro. It's going to be a while. I would dare say, something that a friend mentioned, maybe a month to 2 months before they get any information in regards to a legal certificate stating that this is what happened. I mean, it's just what it is. But in regards to, and we talked about it, we did talk about it earlier, Ronnie. Our local entities do need to focus on the real numbers, not on the fantasious numbers. Anyway, Mayor, before we let you go, one of the other concerns was, some of the flooding, and we're coming into hurricane season. We might get another one. Who knows? City of Brownsville hasn't really gotten one in a while. With hurricanes comes the rain, comes the flooding, and comes mosquito season. Have we started to become a little bit proactive in regards to considering what the mosquito situation in the city of Brownsville?
Yeah, actually, I got to give credit to our health director, Dr. Art Rodriguez. He yesterday all day they were spraying for mosquitoes. They got on it right away, and I was asking about another issue that I had some concerns about, and he said, "Hey, Mayor, give me a little bit of time. Our focus today is we're going to be spraying for mosquitoes." And I said, "Hey, have at it, no problem. I know that's going to be an issue too." So I really. It's really a good time, it feels like, to be mayor because we have a really good team. We have a great administration. We've got a good commission that supports the administration, and it feels like we're clicking on all cylinders. And there's a real value of preparation now, and a real value on being proactive, and an emphasis on everybody doing their part to help this machine run. And I really respect the fact that everybody's being proactive. It's definitely a different city and a different attitude overall. COVID slowed us down a little bit, but we're still moving.
100%. And something that Manuel makes mention, people need to cut their grass, and it puts LOL. But no, yeah, it's true. And, people need to be, one of the things, Mayor, that I've noticed, I think more and more people are starting to become a little bit more proactive and doing for themselves and, not expecting the city to, take care of every single situation that they have out there. And I make mention of that because, I've said this a couple of times. I was driving down 13th Street to go back home, and there was a man out there, clearing out the leaves in the gutter, that little drainage thing that's in the middle of the street, ahí enfrente del Good Neighbor, Good Neighbor settlement home. And they were out there, he didn't have to do that. But that's the kind of forward thinking that we need from everyone out there in the city of Brownsville, guys. If there's an issue, a problem that you can take care of yourself, don't be calling 546 help. As is, I'm sure, Mayor, that 546 help is ringing off the hook. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, 546 help was busy, and as anticipated, whenever you have issues like that, it's going to be an issue. You're going to have call volumes go way up, and we also have Access Brownsville. It's an app on your phone. That one works really well too. So anybody that has a smartphone, anybody that has a phone can download Access Brownsville app, and that one works just as good. And their responses are great, pretty quick. You get emails and you get updates on your requests. So that one's a really good way to do it too. But yeah, 546 help and Access Brownsville app is the best way to go when you're trying to get some sort of issue resolved with the city.
Yeah, but again, folks, I mean, if you see a problem out there that you can take care of, without hurting yourself or hurting your property, go sweep some leaves out of the gutter, and pick them up and place them in trash bags. With that said, Mayor, one of the concerns of individuals for a couple of weeks back was in regards to the trash collection. Have we gotten up to date or full speed in regards to trash collecting in the city of Brownsville?
Yes, Republic, which is the residential provider, was behind because they had actually COVID issues. Coincidentally, I think 12% of their staff, which is about 1 out of 8, was down with COVID. So they got behind in some neighborhoods. We heard about it, believe me, and I think they should be back on track now because they presented at our commission meeting last Tuesday, and they said they would be caught up by the next day, which is last Wednesday. So we should be caught up, and I think they should be back on track. They had some sort of issue that they need to resolve. But the residential trash pickup should be timely, should be on track. If it's not, please let us know.
Appreciate that, Mayor. Mayor, next steps for the city of Brownsville in regards to our economy. One of the things that, we've made mention before is, we're all going to take a hit here locally because of the bridge situation. And I know that you had some conversations actually out there promoting some mutual work between the city of Brownsville and the city of Matamoros. Is there anything new to discuss in regards to our economy and our situation with Matamoros, Tamaulipas?
Well, two different questions. Let me get to the first one, which is the economic one. We're looking at probably about a 15% loss, at least, in sales tax revenues. That's a lot better than some other cities. McAllen took a major hit because they're so reliant on retail and shopping for their economy. But we are going to see a hit. We also are going to make some of that up, though, through increased property taxes. But we are going to take a hit, and we've already kind of projected our budget out to make sure that we're going to be okay. We have a pretty healthy fund balance that we don't want to tap into. But on the economic side, we're going to be okay. Like I said, we're going to lose just like other cities have lost the last 4 or 5 months. And then as far as Matamoros, I'm fortunate that I have a good relationship with Mayor Matamoros. We have a conference call every couple of weeks through Zoom, and we kind of talk about what's going on with COVID, what's going on in the city, how we can help each other, what they're doing, how we can make sure that we're on the same page as far as enacting different measures to help both sides and ensure that we keep our citizens safe. So we're doing that, and we have a good relationship, and that's only going to continue.
Mayor, you said 3 bad words, and increased property taxes.
Oh, I should have clarified. That's and people want to jump on that real quick, but we have an increase in assessed values. So the last year we had, I think, a 5%, 6% increase in assessed values, which brings in more tax revenue. So this year we're seeing an increase in assessed values again, which is going to bring in some more revenue. And that's with keeping the taxes where they are. So you know all about the way the tax rates work. So if properties are worth more this year than they were last year, you're going to see an increase in revenue just based on the same property rate, tax rate. So that's what it is. We're projecting the same tax rate as of right now.
I appreciate you clarifying, because that is one of the things that the county guys, and I know people were jumping up. I mean, and people are listening, so that's good. But that is one of the things that was fought through the county. If you remember correctly, the appraised value in regards to a lot of the properties out there was increased by the county, and a lot of individuals had Derek Benavides on here explaining it to our folks and sharing the ways that you could actually try to appeal the increase. So what the mayor is referring to in regards to increased tax revenue is the money that's coming in already from the appraised value that has already been set out there. Is that correct, Mayor?
Yeah, it's like if you have 1,000 shares of stock and the price goes up, you're going to have more money. Still the same amount of stock, you're just going to have more money. So same thing. If you have the same property tax rate, but the property values go up, you're going to have more money, more tax revenue at the end of the day. So that's what I was talking about. But there's no projection at all about a tax increase. But people also need to understand, though, the tax revenues is what provide essential services, and it's how efficiently you manage that tax revenue that you really should base your city on. We try and run the city like we run a household. If there's no extra money there, you don't spend it. So tax increases are definitely a last resort. My 9 years at TSC, we never raised any taxes. I don't intend to do that here at the city unless it's an absolute last resort, which right now, based on projections, we don't see it.
Good job, Mayor. Mayor, it's something that I'm very, very passionate about is in regards to our grant department. How well is our grant department working in regards to reaching out to try and get as much cash coming our way, and how well is the city going to decimate?
I get grant emails once a week, different grant updates and different grants that are being released. We have a really good grant department, and I've always been a big supporter of grant departments. I think we should have as many grant writers as possible because they pay for themselves. So we're really proactive on the grant side. We've gotten a lot of monies, some federal monies lately and some state monies, but we're always active on the grant front, and we have a really good team there. So doing a lot of good work.
Mayor, one last question, because I know you're a busy man. Are we going to see more relief for individuals in regards to PUB, their electricity bill?
The rates haven't been increased, since the last increase, which is probably a couple of years ago. Definitely no plans for an increase. As far as a reduction in rates, I've been an advocate for a reduction in rates since I've been mayor, but it's not up to Trey Mendez by himself. I need support of others. At this point in time, I'm not sure if we have that support, but I'm definitely a supporter of reducing PUB rates. Well, especially because they were raised artificially for years based on a project that failed, which that project didn't work. I think we should start scaling back.
100%. Mayor, any last words?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe. Wear your facial coverings. Stay away from large groups. And if we keep going for a while, we're going to get through this.
Well, Mayor, we do appreciate your administration. We appreciate all the hard work. And again, you don't have an easy job, sir. So we do appreciate you. Appreciate you taking some time to coming on here and answering questions live, man. Have a great rest of the day, sir. Stay safe, please.
Thanks a lot. You too. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mayor Mendez, for coming on. Again, very busy individual. Always fine. And Griselda, I agree with you 100%. The POs are full of conditionings that are particularly impossible to comply with. That is why we need to get together. And affect some change at the county level as well. But the first step that we have to take is, fight the district. So again, I do appreciate the mayor coming on. I mean, it's always good to hear from him. Mayor Gostros. Guys, let's go quickly back into and I'm going to answer Frank's question in regards to that Erasmo statement. That is why we have to focus also on Los Fresnos and not just BISD. And I guess Frank didn't have the opportunity to see my post this morning. My post this morning just rep LA today. Dodgers suck, but it's okay. Guys, that is why I had placed out a post this morning in regards to Los Fresnos. I'm concerned about Los Fresnos. Something that the mayor said that is very important is for there to be mandates, effective mandates in our community. We need them to be done at the county level because it serves very little purpose for a city to affect certain mandates where other neighboring cities are not going to follow through on those mandates. That is why we need that leadership coming in from the county. I just noticed that my zipper is broken. So I'm not going to stand up. Anyway, guys, and it makes sense. It doesn't make much sense for in the city of Brownsville to affect certain mandates that Olmito is not going to follow suit on. you know, now I'm concerned about my damn zipper. I don't know if it broke or if it. I know it's down. Sorry, try to pick it up before anybody walks into my office, guys. So it makes sense. We need for the county to affect some mandates that every city in our surrounding area is going to. And I would dare say at this moment, it's not just a matter of county. It's a matter of probably the whole valley. The whole valley needs to work together in regards to affecting these changes. Another positive about the kilt, no zipper. Yes. Yes, 100%. Let's see. Thank you, Mayor, for being visible during Brownsville struggles, Hurricane COVID. Yeah, 100%. We've never had that before. Doesn't Brownsville own Olmito? It's just one road. They should. Actually, I don't understand why we don't annex Olmito and Cameron Park. I think because we'd probably have to spend a fortune just to upgrade the services out there. Guys, let's go back into BISD really quickly. And again, thank you, Mayor Mendez. One of the things that was mentioned. Hey, good morning, James. God bless you. One of the things that was mentioned in regards to BISD was how proactive they were being in regards to their safety plan. And they actually had that meeting out there. Erasmo Zipper Castro. And we're green. Actually, I was planning to do that one of these mornings. I promise. I did that the other day with a shirt. And this is, if I may, this is the plan that was that they promoted. The Reconnect Safely, Starting Strong. Yes? Can everyone agree that this is the one that was sent out? And, one of the things that it says is that we have been working diligently for months now trying to put this together to get this going. Does everyone remember when the superintendent was saying that? Teachers, counselors, people? Well, not everything is as it seems. Not everything is as it seems. Remember that image, guys. Well, this is what I found. Appreciate you. Does this look familiar? Reconnect safely. Return safely. Return strong. This, folks, is the Houston ISD Return to Campus Manual. So for the superintendent and this corrupt board to be going out there and saying, oh, we've been working diligently. Prissy La Rata Tipton threw out a big old post out there saying, oh, look at everything. What an amazing job. Patrick Hammonds from AOBE was out there kissing the butt of the board members again. I mean, to a stance, Patrick Hammonds, that shut up and do your damn work. He actually posted a post out there. Shut up and do a good work. Guys, not making this up, folks. So BISD is going out there and saying that they were out there working diligently for copy paste. Copy paste. Houston's, Brownsville's. Houston, Brownsville's. So look, guys, when they're out there, you know that they're lying. When you know that they are lying, once they start moving their lips. Because if they think that copy pasting from Houston Independent School District is working diligently to prepare a plan, they're gravely mistaken. Is this what someone who is making $413 a year can produce? Houston, Brownsville. I mean, goodness gracious. Why didn't they just put the African American girl on there? Look at the background. Even the background's the same. Yes, Patrick Hammonds is from Brownsville Educators Stand Together. Brownsville Educators Together, and all he did yesterday was kiss the butt of the superintendent and the corrupt board. And in return, Prissy and little Andy were out there praising Best and TVEA. Just ask history. This, guys, is this what they've been working on diligently for months? Copy paste? Copy paste. Copy paste. Is this super right about area maintenance cutting grass? I'm not sure the question one. Plagiarism. It's copy paste. So they weren't working hard for months to produce a return safely thing. They just changed the picture of an African American little girl and replaced it with a Hispanic girl. Same background, except we have a burst and they have lines going down. There says HISD and ours says BISD. That's another difference. Not return strong, starting strong. Is this what they've been working diligently on, folks? Are you getting your $413 to $413,000? Are we now copy pasters? And let me tell you guys, I copy paste, and I even stated out there, I am the copy king, king of copy paste. That's what I do. I share information that I take from other places, and I bring it to light. But for someone that is making $413,000, has two deputy superintendents earning more than $200,000, 7 AAs that are making over $175,000, this is all that they can produce? A copy paste? A copy paste. A copy paste. Copy paste. Doesn't BSTIC have a policy about getting a failing grade for plagiarism? Well, yeah, but it's do as I say, not as I do. Guys, is there any difference here, guys? Is there any difference here? Is this what millions of dollars in salary are going to give us? I wonder who. Yeah. Well, you know what's going to be funny, Elazar? They're probably going to say, well, maybe Houston copied it from Brownsville. We had no plan. We had no plan. And I wouldn't be surprised, folks. I wouldn't be surprised if you went through the manual and the Brownsville manual, and you found a lot of things that mentioned Houston. Because oops, we missed one. Where is the copy of the handout the board had on Monday's meeting? I heard it's going to be available online. If it's this one, Diana, I could send you the link. It's right here, guys. Anyone have any doubt? This is scary. Don't believe your kids to be safe. You cannot control what these kids do all day. Sped kids will be worse. Some cannot keep masks on shields, and they face all day. Some cannot stand anything touching their face. A disaster waiting to happen all day. No freaking way. Where are the kids going? It's a mess. It is a mess. Guys, are we getting our money's worth? Are we getting our money's worth? It's right here. This one is Houston's, and this next one out here is this is Houston, and this one is BISD. Are we getting our money's worth? Are we getting our money's worth? We definitely are not. What is- Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, just got some breakfast coming to the studio. It's a great thing. I'm almost done, guys. Are we getting our money's worth? Uh, yes. No innovation thinkers, following, not leading. Number it up. It's right there. Heading over in a bit to get cookies, a sticker, and a sign. Yes. Thank you, Leah. Say hi to Josh for me. No more. Imitation is another form of flattery for Houston, maybe not for us, guys. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was, and I'm going to post this on the page again, guys. This is not. It is such a double standard for teachers. We make less than 40,000 compared to them, and yet they want us to risk our lives. Not only they want our children to be left without a parent, possibly two, but to be left with debt. It's crazy. The last thing that I wanted to touch base, and I'm going to post this on my page, and I'm going to send it to the district, going like, "What's up with that? Are we getting our money's worth? $2 million in salaries for a copy paste from Houston. It's embarrassing." Los Fresnos CISD released the Start State Back to School plan. I wonder if they copied it from Houston as well. Parents need to read it carefully. Key points. If a student goes back on campus, either full-time or hybrid, it does not allow social distancing guidelines. Does not follow social distancing guidelines. Students have the choice of what kind of face coverings to wear, including using only a face shield. If it shouldn't be a choice, you have to wear face masks, face coverings. If a student or staff gets COVID but has been fever-free for 3 days, they can return to school without a negative test results. That is madness. There is madness. Fever is not the only symptom in regards to COVID-19. If a teacher or staff have had close contact with a COVID positive person, assuming like a student in their classroom, they should stay home for 14 days. Can you foresee entire classrooms in self-quarantine? It's madness, guys. And we're going to go over it a little bit more later on tonight. We should be back tonight at 9 p.m. I have posted on the page. I'll post the district's safety plan that they copy pasted from Houston. They could have at least changed the words "tantos doctorates." It's there, guys. Houston IZ press release stated 7:15 reconnect safely. 7:15. We copy pasted it in 15 days, less than 15 days. 15 days we copy pasted from Houston. Does that have people? Hey, man, you got a room full of high-paying individuals to copy paste something from Houston? Some people and kids do not have symptoms exactly. Is school optional? No, school is necessary. It's just how you go about the school that's important. Absolute madness. Now we know how they got their doctorates, copy paste. Let me tell you, I'm planning to buy mine in Mexico sometime soon. Guys, my time is up. I've been here for an hour. God bless. Take care. We'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll be posting throughout the day. Continue to come by. I still have cookies. Come by and pick up your damn cookies. God bless. Stay safe. Do for others that can't be able to do for themselves. Please, guys, be good to each other, and please be good to me. Bye.